What's up, y'all? I wanted to do a reaction video to Hans's recent interview on Singletrack podcast, which is probably my favorite podcast, at least my favorite running podcast, with Finn Melanson. But this comes on the heels of Hans, unfortunately, DNFing from Western States. A DNF in which I was very emotional about when it happened. I'm just such a big Hans fan, and he was truly sending it on that day. I just remember being like kind of on cloud nine, listening to Dylan Bowman, commentating as I'm watching Hans send it, going up devil's thumb, and making it just a truly like amazing performance up to like mile 66 or something, and then he just blew up. So yeah, this is him talking about that.
We'll come back to the training in a moment. The last time we talked with you was before Western States. I think there's probably a good number of people sort of in our audience who are just curious to get like the inside look at how Western went for you. And I think if we go right to that moment on Cal Street where you decide to drop, was that an easy decision?
No, of course not. I mean, yeah, it's like looking back at it now, I really feel like I had a 98% perfect day. Like everything was going amazing. Historically I've had like weak quads, and this day my quads were perfect. I mean, I was still running downhill amazingly. So the stomach issues really caught me off guard. And then obviously I had like one of the biggest bonks I've ever had in my life because, no carbs for a couple hours before that. And then like watching the race run away from me was super tough. And then, getting to the aid station, after having walked for quite a long time, I was devastated. I would have loved to like walk it in, finish the race. But I also was immediately thinking about next year and got to get back somehow. And so I think that the smart decision was to call it, but like I was just super devastated. But I also really wanted to see, at the time I thought it was going to be Francesco finish the race. And like that was something I really wanted to see, because I'd been training with these guys for a minute. And so like I remember telling my crew, like, can we like, let's go to the finish line. Like I really want to see these guys finish the race because I know that it's a historic race. So really tough not to finish. And I think it tore me up for a while after the race. Like I think I took it a lot harder than I would have guessed. Like probably the month after the race was just kind of, it was a bummer. I think I was really close, and that hurts. But I think it was a massive learning experience, and also in a weird way a confidence builder, because I really don't think I was running something that was unsustainable on the day. I think it was just kind of a weird freak day with the stomach that I've never experienced before. So I think that that should bring me some confidence to know that, it's repeatable, but maybe with a stronger stomach.
Probably.
Yeah. Someone commented on the episode on Spotify and said, yeah, I was running sustainably. I just happened to have the worst bonk of my life and drop out of the race. Okay, kid. Dude. I'm happy to see that got 5 thumbs down. I commented on it, as well as someone by the name of Jake Lindvall. I'm not even going to give the other comment. You can read the name, but I'm not even going to say their name because who cares about that person. Jake Lindvall said, somewhat agree, yeah, maybe not with phrasing it that way, but there are practical limits to pacing versus metabolism, which involves signals to the brain and gut simultaneously. He is still figuring that intuition out, but he will get it soon, and he's already way better than you or I ever would be in 10 lifetimes. Yes, Jake Lindvall gets it. I said I would say any of the elites actually understand what he means and can maybe even relate. I can relate. Like, I understand what he means, and I am so far from elite. I mean, I've done 3 marathons, I've done 4 half marathons, and I even understand what Hans is saying. Like, this past December, I think I would say was my most successful marathon. And even then, like, I blew up. completely blew up. So to actually get it right, completely get it right, I mean, I don't know how many elite runners actually say within a 100-mile race, it went flawlessly, perfect, executed, the plan perfectly, no mistakes. I think most everybody says, like, yeah, at this point in the race, like, my stomach was kind of churning. There's always, like, something I feel like that's mentioned. But yeah, I mean, like, this past December, I got to mile 18, and it's like my legs, I could not get them to go faster. I was going for like a 720-ish pace, and or actually I was going low 7, like 702 is my pace up till mile 18, and then it was like I couldn't go faster than a 9-minute mile. My legs just felt like cement, and that's obviously something I've got to work out conditioning wise. But yeah, like, I understand what Hans is saying by the whole, like, it felt like it was 98% perfect. It was my day. And then the inside of your body, your guts and your whatever, your kidneys, you name it, have something else to say. You could be feeling all the things in your heart and in your mind, but if your stomach is doing its own thing, then it's doing its own thing. So anyway, I wanted to move on to the next, like, little timestamp that I wrote down at 1854. 1854.
Because it's the Fleet Feet torch. But yeah, so I had actually taken like 2 months semi off of running post college, where I was like, what's life like without running? And I just didn't like it. I was like, man, I really like to run. And so I ran like 50 miles one day in like July in Georgia, which was so hard, so hot, so miserable. And but I remember finishing it, and it was just like the hardest thing I'd ever done. And I was like, that was awesome. Like, I just found so much value in like just pushing myself to the limits and seeing what I was capable of. And so it kind of became this quick obsession where it was like, wow, like, nobody really cares that I just ran 50 miles, but like, I care a lot. Like, this is so neat. And so I just wrote up this big training plan. I ran like 90-mile weeks in college, but I just went straight to 120-mile weeks, or like.
I love it, man. I love it. I love that whole, like, wanting to see what you're capable of. Like, just that curiosity. I mean, I've said already that, part of what I love about marathons is that it's a puzzle. Like, you could say 5K is a puzzle, but a marathon is like truly a puzzle. And it's one that I've not figured out at all. Well, at all. I've figured it out at least a little bit, but there's so much more I've not even scratched the surface of. And just hearing Hans talk about that post-college, he was a really great runner in college at Augusta. But then getting out and like discovering further distances and having this curiosity with what am I capable of? I just love that and can relate to just wondering if I can really truly push myself in training. How far could I take this? And obviously he says nobody cares. Grace cared. His now wife, Grace Troyer, dude, she probably was like so infatuated with you, Hans, when you did the 50 miles, and she's like twirling her shirt in the kid documentary and feeding you goldfish and Mountain Dew. She's so had the hots for you, Hans. So had the hots. Anyway, next one at 34 minutes. Is that what it said? 34 minutes. Let's go forward a little bit. We'll stop right here.
I'm pretty confident.
Gear for this race, like you mentioned the vest. Are you pretty dialed on like the required kit stuff? Have you like?
Oh yeah, I bought a kitchen scale, and I have been like obsessing over this gear. I don't know why I've had so much fun with it, but yeah, I got like the tiny phone, like the tiny smartphone. We had like one of the UTMB representatives come to the Hoka house like 2 weeks ago. And we asked them like tons.
Yeah, and another thing that I would like to maybe do in this video too is just scrub through some of his CCC build. The videos are incredibly entertaining, just beautiful too, and Chamonix, and I'm gonna butcher Champelac, and just like I watched Francesco Pupi's video also, which Hans is in a little bit. Adam Peterman, Jim Walmsley, Elaney, I think is her name, which I guess is a new Hoka athlete. I'm actually not familiar with her, so I'm curious to find out more about her. Vincent Bouillard, I don't know how you say his last name, but yeah. I'll scrub through some of that because it's highly entertaining. Hans is a showman in these races, but he's also a showman just on his YouTube channel. Dude's hilarious. Yeah. All right, we're coming up on the part that I had. I'll go ahead and...
Or pounds?
I actually don't know.
Neither do I.
Yeah, I've gone full euro.
Dude, amazing. Okay. Maybe a few more questions. You know, on the podcast that you did with Killian, I wrote this quote down. You said Western States and UTMB will be my two target races. Like those are, you kind of see those as career benchmarks. What does CCC represent to you in that career arc?
Has anyone actually made it to level 4 before? If you're slightly
we've got a commercial that popped up. Oh wait, I can skip it. There we go.
Dipping my toe in the water of European racing. I think it would have been a suicide mission to just go after UTMB this year and have no idea what I'm getting into. You know, I've never raced like at night, let alone like through the night. Never raced with, well, I guess I did. Canyons had mandatory gear, but yeah, it's like this just a brand new experience for me. So this is just dipping my toe in the water of European racing and seeing what it's like, you know, and yeah. I don't know when I'll attack UTMB for the first time, but I'd love to do it sooner than later. Because I think that I'm more of a go into the race and like fail in a massive way and learn from it than like a build up to it type of person. So I'd rather, like, I don't want to just race like OCC and CCC for the next 5 years and be like, okay, I think I'm ready. Like, I'd rather like go to UTMB and either, you know, run a fantastic race or fail in a spectacular way. But then I think I learned really well from the failures.
I think you kind of hinted at it earlier, but at least until now, you've never entered into a race that you weren't intending to win. Does that still hold to you?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's just like I'm too competitive for it, but like, I don't know. I feel like on the professional side of the sport, like more people should think like that, where it's like, I don't know. I think winning is cool. I'm going to try to win.
Last topic for you, at least. I might have.
Yeah, I just really enjoyed hearing his thoughts on just like being more into the idea of like failing in a massive big way, but like learning from it. I actually looked up just because I was curious what like Google AI would say about that. But I said, is there something to be said about failing in a spectacular way to learn rather than slowly figuring it out? It said, yes, failing in a big way can teach you fast and make you bold, while slow steps give you steady habits and fewer risks. And I guess maybe that's the big kind of takeaway from me, is the fewer risks. Big failure breaks old thoughts. Slow steps build safe skills. Big failure breaks old thoughts. That's really interesting. So maybe by going big, the whole like go big or go home mentality, by going big, you actually are breaking out of who you currently are. It would almost be like, okay, well, you know, Hans even says in this interview, like, one of his main strategies was to drop Jim because he thought everybody up to the race had been talking about Jim Walmsley. I'm just going to go up to the escarpment and lose Jim, and in the process lose everybody else. But obviously Hans talks about how Jim kind of bounced around right behind him for a while. And so Hans is like, this isn't how it was supposed to go. But yeah, I mean, I think the big failure breaks old thoughts is interesting because that feels almost like a fortune cookie. It's like, you're not going to learn new things about yourself if you're just like trying to slowly step up from where you currently are. Because if you take a giant step up, you're almost like separating yourself from who you are. You're probably not going to succeed, but you'll probably figure something out. Whereas if you take slow steps, you'll build safe skills. You'll sharpen some of the stuff that you're currently doing. Nutrition stuff, pacing stuff. But like, it's too predictable. And like, I feel like you're trying way too hard to see what's right in front of you. So it's like not as exciting, I guess. I think Hans's approach is a fast shock type of thing. It's like you go big but you wake up to something new. And you also see your mistakes like so precisely. Hans didn't though with this, so maybe, I don't know. This was a weird day for Hans. Western States, like, I mean, the whole stomach problem thing is like, it just is what it is. But I think the pain of going big and failing miserably, the lessons that you learn from it maybe stick in your brain a little bit more sharply, and you register them and retain them to like forge new paths. And sometimes you probably figure out like, I've got to change my entire plan. That might not be true always, but like, you might go back to something and be like, this is not working at all. Whereas if you'd made baby steps, it would take you way longer to figure out what maybe is going wrong. But I think slow steps are great too. So I'm more of a slow step kind of guy, I think. I do end up getting frisky during marathons and make probably poor decisions. But anyway, yeah. So, yeah, I did want to watch some of like Hans's, CCC build stuff. Is so great.
My name is Chip. I'm in North Carolina.
Just like seeing the mountains and France and everywhere he's going is, I'm very jealous.
Bonjour, bienvenue. Hello. Those were French words, but we're actually in Italy right now. But welcome back. In Europe for the first time, getting ready for CCC, which I'm super excited about. And we're about to do course recon days. So 2 big runs back to back, starting tomorrow morning. But we're in a beautiful area. Look at this. Wow.
So here he is running with Fran.
And you never say please.
Right here. Oh.
Almost done with the climb out of Triant. It's a steep one.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see kind of how Hans does with this type of climbing.
No hike hard rock.
It's like, to you and me, we would say he has done this type of climbing. Like Western States to me, from like an outsider perspective, is climbing. But yeah, I don't know.
I ran with Francesco and gym for about a K. And we had to part ways. So I'm in the OCC course today. So, well, all is well.
I mean, look at that. Just what? Oh my gosh. Oh. Like, that is unreal.
Man, this is one of those sections of trail where like I can't pull out the camera enough. It's just so pretty. Like just one for 20 minutes on this trail. Like the flowers and the mountains, the colors so nice.
Alright, well, let's go.
We got these electric bikes. They're sick. So you can just coast downhill and use electricity to get your way up. But I just went to a little what a course. See, dude, that course is incredible. It's like it's got everything you can want. I mean, it's got super runnable stuff, surprisingly runnable stuff. The first half I think is like surprisingly runnable, and the back half is technical, but then every climb is like so steep. So it's like, I guess that's what I expected, but like you really can't. You don't know what to expect until you try it. And so I'm glad I got to try it. But so shout out to Hoka for taking us on those adventures to see the course. But oh, by the way, right. Good morning and welcome to the Young and Fit News. I'm your anchor, Hans Troyer, and we'll dive right into it. We got a developing story over in France. We have Hans Troyer on the scene trying to figure out what does it take to win the CCC 100K. So we'll sling it right to Hans. Hans, can you hear us? Yes, thank you, Hans. Yes, I'm out here at the Hoka camp, currently investigating what it takes to be a CCC champion. And I'm hearing around the block that there might be some sort of super fuel that the trail running world has yet to hear about. I'm here with Adam Peterman, who just ran CCC 2 years ago. Adam, tell me what you were just telling me.
Yeah, so 2 years ago, when I got third at CCC and Hayden won, I'd be running with him, and then we'd roll into an aid station and he'd eat something or disappear for a sec. But when he left, he'd have so much energy, and I just couldn't keep up.
So much energy after eating something at the aid station.
Exactly, yeah.
Sounds like some sort of super fuel.
I don't know. I'm just saying what I saw.
You're hearing it all over the news media right now.
At CCC last year, I don't know. There's got to be some fuel out there that we don't know about.
They're doing something crazy at the aid stations. I think they're using some new cutting edge.
So hilarious. Adam Peterman, by the way, is running the full UTMB. I guess you call it the flagship race. 108-mile course race. Some people call it a 100-mile race, but it's actually 108. Also, by the way, Hans totally turned me on to whatever camera this is he's
We're
using.
not going to go up that.
It's the DJI Osmo Pocket 4 or Pocket Osmo 4. I ended up buying it, Hans. You totally influenced me to get it. And I'm going to use it. I do real estate videography and photography. And I think will be really cool for some of my videos. And for my awesome running YouTube channel. But this footage is sick. Well, that's Hans. This is maybe not. I don't know if this is on his camera or not, but anyway. Let's scrub forward a little bit. Sorry. It's trying to read. Come on now. Come on. Come on.
I don't know about this guy. I don't know about this video. Something's just off about it.
Yeah, and then here's a track workout he did with Cade Michael. And I'm curious if is Hans going to have a pacer at CCC? I'm wondering if Cade is going to pace him at all. Or if you're allowed to have pacers for a 100K. Yeah. Anyways, CCC is next Friday, 5 days from now. I will be streaming it. I don't know what time it comes on. I will be really sad if I have to miss any of it. I might have to miss some of it. But I'm definitely excited to see how Hans does. Yeah, young and fit. These are the times. The mitochondria are dense. The grass still mows. And we still mow it? Wait, did I say the grass still mows? The grass still grows and we still mow it? The miles don't run themselves. What else? Did I say these are the times? These are the times. Young and fit. Let's go. Let's get it.